Hey everybody out there on YouTube, this is WhitePony89 and I'm going to go over my 6 Samurai build that I built around the safe zone, and I'm going to show you the 40 card deck that I've built as well as my extra deck and side deck, and show you the reason that I picked some of these cards. This is for the September 1st ban list, so without any further ado, let's check it out. Alright, so the first card is Grandmaster. I only use one Grandmaster because having more than one is just ridiculous. There's no reason to have more than one. Sometimes you just can't get it out. So, it's nice to just have one in the deck. And also this is good for using with Gateway, so that if you do summon like an Acid Golem, that you could distribute your Acid Golem and then go straight into this. So, one Grandmaster. 3 Kizans. If you don't run 3 Kizans, then you shouldn't be running the deck. One Zanji with Asceticism with the Kizan, and the whole thing about this card is that this and the Kizan are going to be the way that you're going to OTK the easiest. I'll show you guys how to do that later. One Enishi, and this you can also use Asceticism if you, let's say, special summon an Elder and you normal summon a Kageki, and you don't have any other monsters in your hand, but you have an Asceticism. Your Kageki is now 1700, so you can Asceticism and bring this guy out and bounce something. Then you have a rank 3 that you can go into, like a Leviathan or maybe like a Zenmaines or whatever you want. But before you do that, you should probably bounce something with Enishi, which is pretty much the whole reason of having him in the deck. I run 2 Kagekis. The reason I run 2 Kagekis is because I like to do the Asceticism with the Shadow Shien and go for 3,500 attack, and when you do that is you remove one material and target this monster, and then its base attack is 2,000, and then with its effect it goes to 1,500 plus on top of that, so it gets to 3,500, which is really good for going up for beaters like Blackluster, Soldier, Chaos of the Envoy, and things like that. 2 Elders, 2 Asceticism with the Kagemusha. 3 Kagemusha. You need 3. And for the rest of the monsters, it's 2 Effect Dailies. And, I was thinking about running 3, but it tended to clog my hand up a lot, and the only reason that I ever used it at 3 was to synchro, double-edged sword technique and bring out like level 8 or level 7 or maybe a level 9, depending on how many monsters you're going to create. So, but even so, I believe that I got enough effect dailies in my hand that I didn't really need to worry about having 3. So that's all personal preference, really. But okay, that's 15 monsters, I believe. And then this is my magics right here. 1 ROTA. Need a ROTA, definitely. Grab Kizan, grab Enishi, things like that. 1 Gateway. 1 Mind Control. This is a really great tech card because, say there's a set monster and you don't want to risk it, you Mind Control it, and then if it's a Morphing Jar, for example, then you can set all your magics and gain hand control and just flip it and use it, or just use it for an XYZ or whatever you want. Book of Moon. This card is too good not to run, honestly. So if you're not running Book of Moon with this deck, then something terribly wrong with you. Especially since a lot of Shien is only a 2,500 attack monster, which is not as high as some monsters out there, like Darkness Metal Dragon and things like that. So this is a really good card to use in combination with things. If you're trying to get over a Logia, you compulse it and then you Book of Moon it, or vice versa, and use those combinations. And then of course, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, and Heavy Storm. There's a lot of talk about whether or not you should use Heavy Storm and Dark Hole in your deck, and the thing is that if you first turn and you get Heavy Storm in your draw, that's 2 or 3 cards that they can't use now, and you can also kind of control the board from there. So of course, Monster Reborn you need. So 3 Asceticisms. I don't need to explain why you need 3 Asceticisms. You just need 3 of them. 6 Samurai Uniteds. You need hand control, so this will be good for your competitive deck if you're trying to make it competitive. 2 Shi En smoke signals to grab up those elders, to grab up those Kagekis, to grab up those Kagemushas. For the traps, Solemn Brigade. Sometimes you just need to stop stuff. And this is the most important card in the deck, in my opinion, right now. It's the safe zones. And the reason that the safe zone is the most important card in the deck is because you use it with either Shien or Naturia Beast, and with that, you pretty much gain field control completely. They can't destroy the Naturia Beast unless they use Dust Tornado or something around those lines. They have to use a trap or a monster effect in order to get it off the field, but that's pretty hard to do. So, you just use this card on your Shien or your Naturia Beast and gain control. This is a really good card against, for example, it's really good against Exodias, things like that, just to make sure that your Naturia can't get destroyed. And I run 3 Compulsives. This card's really abusable in the 6 Samurai deck because you want to gain counters, you bounce a Kizan and you special summon it again, or if you're trying to get rid of a high level monster and you just bounce it, or whatever you want to do really. So even if you have 2 of them on the field, you can get rid of it while you're ROTA pretty easily, and this is probably the best card right now, besides Safe Zone and as far as traps goes, just because it's so usable. I run 2 double-edged sword techniques, and this is a really important card too, because I like to do the KK when I use Heroic Excalibur and Blade Armor Ninja. You Zanji, normal summon that, use Asceticism, and then get your Kizan out, go into that for a Heroic Excalibur, use its effect and take them all off the materials all off into the graveyard, and then you flip this, and then get them back, and then you use that to get a Blade Armor Ninja, and then take one of its materials off and go in for an 8,000 plus attack. Okay, that's it for the 40 card deck. For the extra, I use 1 Mistworm, 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Black Rose, 1 Landoise. I didn't used to like this card until I started running it, and it's pretty amazing, honestly. I think you should run a Landoise, especially if it's only $1. Barkion. Need these for a competitive deck. Gaia. People ask me why do you use Gaia. Because I like to use Kagemusha and Mind Control and get an easy 2600 beater, and if it gets Darkhold or something, I can just Monster Reborn it and bring it back, and it's still a 26 beater. It doesn't have like a Synchro ignition or anything like that, so that's nice. And of course, Shien, best Synchro card you can get. As far as 6 Samurais go, Naturia Beast, another important one. Use this with Safe Zone, become invincible. And as far as the XYZs go, I actually run quite a few XYZs. I run Gemini Pearl. Same thing with the Gemini Pearl. People ask me why do you use Gemini Pearl. It's a 2600 beater, and it doesn't require any materials to use its effect because it has none. So if it gets Darkhold, then this is really good for our first turn. So if you have an Enishi and they have a level 4, you mind control it and go into it for a Gemini Pearl. And that pretty much saves you the trouble of having to get rid of a Blade Armor Ninja or something else that you could have been using the whole time. So that's why I use that. Heroic Excalibur uses with the double-edged sword technique and the Blade Armor Ninja effect. Shadow Shien, this is with the Kageki combo. Blade Armor Ninja, 2200 attack, 1000 defense. This thing is fucking amazing. If you can't get one, then I feel sorry for you, because honestly, this is probably one of the best cards. The rank 3s, I have MX Saber Invoker. People keep trying to tell me to run a Leviathan, or what is it, a Levier? Yeah, Levier, but I'd rather get the cards out of the deck and try to increase my my chances of getting other cards and things like that. So plus you can use this card to make another XYZ or whatever you want to do with that. Acid Golem. People ask me why I use Acid Golem too. This card's really good, especially if they are using Skill Drain. You just use this as a 3000 beater, and its effects are negated, so you don't have to worry about it. And then the last one is Wind Up Zenmaines. Its effect is really annoying, and so that's basically why I keep it on the field more than anything. It's easier to sit on it for a little while than have a Leviathan or something like that. So Zenmaines is going to be a good tool. And for the side deck, I use 2 Fossil Dynas. I use this against other 6 Samurai decks, and I also use this against Dark Worlds. Neospacing and Grandmaster. I use this against Elemental Heroes and 6 Samurais. Battle Faders. I don't really side these in as much as I'd like to, but this is mainly for OTK decks. Dimensional Fissure. This is against Dark World. MSTs. One deck may have way too many cards that are annoying you, like Skill Drain and like things like that, and so this card will really help you out. Bottomless. There's so many decks that you can use this against, and honestly, any side deck should run 2 Bottomless. And then 2 Rivalry of Warlords is good against windups and other decks like that, so that's why I run these. And the last 2 are Musakani Magatama, but I'm actually thinking of running debunks instead of these. They seem to work out a little better, especially against Dark Worlds, or if somebody's running 3 Effect Failures. So I'm probably going to take them out for debunks. So yeah, this deck overall is really competitive, and I'm going to show you the quick trick that I was talking to you about concerning the OTK that I do. Basically what you do is you set your double-edged sword technique last turn, and your normal Zanji, Asceticism, bring out your Kizan, XYZ into Heroic, use its effect, take it to grave, double-edged sword technique, bring them back, blade armor, send it to grave. Now you have an 8,400 swing, basically. So that's a really useful tool. And then I'll show you the Naturia Beast thing that's pretty much impossible to get over. Alright, so you have your safe zone, and you have your Naturia Beast. Let's flip this over. Say it gets targeted for Dimensional Prison or Compulse, something like that. You flip it on safe zone. Now it can't be destroyed at all. You could just sit on it and put it in defense mode if there's a monster that has too much. The only thing that sucks about this card is you can't attack directly, so you just kind of have to hope that you can find an 1800 or plus attack monster. I've even poked somebody to death with Kagemusha. So this card is really useful, especially against Dark Worlds and Exodias and things like that. This card will just help you get over everything. The only problem is it might mill you out. So, and that's happened with Elemental Heroes against me, and Elemental Heroes just milled me out because they had too many spells. Alright, those are my builds that I want to show you, and I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them on, let me know. Keep it easy.